Let's do I react. What am I reacting to? Let's see. We'll go to something. They always want me to go. Let's see. Destiny. Oh yeah, everybody hates Destiny. I like the guy, but you know, I live in Texas, so. Oh, I'm gonna react to. That's a long video about Luke Beasley losing his shit. Dean Withers. Okay, let's see. He
The reason
frees
was
him from the
no,
spell.
they didn't say that, but that's not true. They said that people were misusing them, people were being greedy, and when it comes to being a Christian, is greed. What do they say about greed in the Bible? Like you're not
Oh,
following.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
picking and choosing.
they say we need a
You're
greedy
picking and
billionaire to
choosing.
serve as our president. You're picking and choosing. Go ahead and tell me how the 13 million American children that are actually still starving because the government's not reopened and he's still refusing to abide by said court order to feed them, right? Go ahead and tell me how they were too greedy. Okay, so let's do the math here. There's 42 million people on.
You clip around so much, man. Like make a. And I like this guy, but I'm gonna like critique because everybody's gonna be shitting. If somebody were to see this later, they'd be like, "Oh, he's probably just gonna suck his dick the whole time because he's a liberal." Dean, I know it's hard with these people, but try to make a cohesive intro because your intro was like you're doing like three cuts there. I'm trying. I still haven't got to the end of it. Let's see what it is. Let's see what you said.
Food stamps. 38.8 of the 42 million recipients of food stamp benefits are children, right? So in other words, 16,296,000 American children are going without food because the Trump administration is refusing to abide by a court order to feed them.
That's not Christian.
Not at all.
I would hope you don't think I'm a bird brain that would be like, yeah, I still support Trump. He's starving children. No, that's wrong.
Hello, Amanda. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Ah, so this is a video where it starts where he's talking and she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "He's starving a bunch of children," and she's like, "Nah." Seems kind of weird. the store because I got some shit ones. Just to be clear.
And Amanda, how old are you?
I'm 21
And why do you support Trump?
because he's my president,
So
and
you
I
just-
feel like I feel like God is very intentional with who He chose to lead the country.
So God chose him.
Yeah, God's intentional. He's the president for a reason.
Was Hitler the dictator of Nazi Germany for a reason?
Wait, why are we talking about Hitler? Keep it on Trump first.
Because your logic seems to be, if somebody is a leader, then they're...
No, I don't want to talk about logic, though. I want to talk about Trump.
I couldn't have worded it better myself.
Sorry, Dean. You're boring me. Y'all gonna watch YouTube with me this morning. And Dean wasn't cutting it for me. No offense. It wasn't even more about him. It was more that he had to deal with that bitch. Bacon. Kylo, get out of here.
I know that everybody is incredibly shocked and outraged over Donald Trump's comments about Rob Reiner and his wife less than 12 hours after they were pronounced dead after being stabbed in their Hollywood home. But honestly, my reaction when I saw that post from him, to be honest, I wasn't even shocked, which in and of itself worries me because I feel like I, along with the rest of the country, have become rather desensitized to what the president is saying. And I'm not saying the post isn't shocking in and of itself, just to clarify. I'm saying that when I saw that post, I almost knew that Donald Trump was going to take this to a new low, to a new extreme. I know how desperate he is, and I know how much he likes to just drag us down to the depths of hell with the standards that he sets as the president of the United States. So right when I saw that post, my friend sent it in this group chat that we have with some MAGA people, some liberals, and everyone was outraged. And I said, can't you guys see? This is the entire game that Trump likes to play. He likes to shock people. He likes to make people outraged. Only today, he took it so far that even his own MAGA fan base can't defend him. Even his own MAGA fan base has had enough of his vile, cruel style of politics. But just to bring this back, the reason why I was not shocked at Donald Trump's post, I feel like I'm not trying to be blunt here. I'm just saying the reason why I was not shocked is because over the past decade, I've seen Donald Trump do things like this over and over and over. He made fun of a reporter with a physical disability back on the campaign trail in 2015. He said he grabs women by the pussy because they let him do it. Donald Trump 2 weeks ago said Alyssa Slotkin should be executed, and 4 weeks ago he posted AI videos of Obama being arrested. 2 months ago, Donald Trump was making fun of Thomas Massey's deceased wife, and 4 months ago, Donald Trump was cutting USAID and killing people en masse in other countries. So when I saw this post about Rob Reiner, yes, of course, it is a crazy, effing, despicable, evil, vile post, but I wasn't really shocked. I understand that Donald Trump is playing this game, this vile game of politics, which for every other American than him, it's not a game. This is the reality for minorities in America, for people who need health care, who need affordability, who need a whole list of things. But for Trump, it is just this outrage game because he is insulated from all of these problems. But this brings me on to the next problem. The reason why this video is titled, I've Had Enough, is because the one thing in our political landscape that I have had enough of, there's a lot of things, but the one thing mainly that is really depressing to me is the double standard of expectations. Friend of the show, Pondering Politics, calls it the asymmetry of expectations between the two sides, and it's so incredibly true. We talk about it on the show all the time, but let me just flesh this out. Hillary Clinton, back in the 1990s, had a year-long scandal because a decade prior to Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton taking office, Hillary made like $10,000 off of trading something in the stock market while Bill Clinton was in office. This was a year-long scandal. And really quickly, as we head into the holiday season, I want to give a huge thank you to Aura Frames for sponsoring this video and for having such a great product that live in your family member
Good for your
frame
frames.
wherever it is, across
They're not
the
paying
town,
me, so I'm
across
not
the country,
play their
across
shit.
the world, across the town, across that lives.
I'll wait till you switch
Trump,
back
a
to
few
your
decades
other... There you go.
Yet Donald Trump, a few decades later, had Melania Trump get a $40 million movie deal with Amazon after meeting with Jeff Bezos secretly in the White House. This secret meeting then was parlayed into a $40 million Amazon movie deal for Melania Trump. So Hillary Clinton 30 years ago went through a year-long scandal because of a small profit that she made a decade prior legitimately. Melania Trump is currently leveraging the office of the White House to make money, and this is only a small bit of the money that Trump has brought in. His net worth has gone from $4.3 billion to $7.3 billion over the past few months. A $3 billion increase in net worth when Joe Biden only went from about 8 to 11 million. Joe Biden, he had real estate assets, investments that increased in price, and he profited. Normal. But Donald Trump has been so corrupt, and this brings me back to the asymmetry of expectations. Most Americans think that both sides are corrupt, that Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump are one and the same. Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump are two sides of the same bird. What do they say? Two wings of the same bird or whatever. No, it's not. Nancy Pelosi's quote-unquote corruption is a grain of sand on the beach, on Trump's beach of corruption, where he owns every single grain of cryptocurrency sand that he has over and over accumulated through corruption. What about January 6th? People will say that Hillary Clinton one time called Trump an illegitimate president. Yeah, she did. And Democrats shouldn't use language like that, especially when we're not saying an election was stolen, because Hillary wasn't. She was just saying that in her eyes, Donald Trump is an illegitimate president. Well, sure, you can argue that, but politicians need to be careful with their words. But they will say that one statement from Hillary Clinton is the same as Donald Trump claiming the election was stolen for a year before the election happened. Then on election night, he took the stage and declared victory before the votes were counted. Then after that, Donald Trump repeatedly said the election was stolen from him. Over and over and over, he lied. Even after the court cases were proven wrong, he called officials, tried to flip the results of the election. So spare me the tears when Hillary Clinton called him an illegitimate president one time. Again, this is an example of what I've had enough of. The asymmetry of standards between the two sides. Donald Trump tried to rig an election and people compare it. An entire list of the things that Trump has done. The January investigating act blew our main pack. He's going after the media, after law firms, after CNN, after Jimmy Kimmel. He's trying to illegally redistrict the country. He's purging immigrants with brutal ICE raids.
Two weeks here, what have you learned about the city?
Well, I've tried a lot of these open mics, and I ended up in a driveway,
What does that mean?
like a man's driveway.
At that point, is it your fault or is it his fault? I mean, hold on. All jokes aside, as society, we're going to sit around and be like, this freak was luring dumb girls into his driveway. And you would think, yeah, that's f***ed up. But then you meet the dumb girls that were lured into the driveway. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, this guy was, fishing with dynamite.
2 weeks here, what have you learned about the city?
Well, I've tried a lot of these open mics, and I ended up in a driveway.
You haven't seen this?
That's him.
Holy shit.
I'm standing here now, a biological male, wearing a dress with a pair of leggings. Do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing? And if so, are you willing to turn yourself in for wearing women's panties in your gay college film?
Well, I'll take those questions in order, I guess. First one, I would encourage you to behave as a man. is what I would do. Because you are a man. You might hate me for telling you the truth, but I think the truth will set you free. And furthermore, your masquerading as a woman does infringe on the legitimate rights of other people. The rights of women to have their own bathrooms, the rights of women to have their own sports leagues, and the like. As to that Yale thesis film, this thing dogs me. I was never a transvestite or a homosexual or anything, but I was something even more morally suspect. I was a professional actor. I played 200 roles, I would estimate, in my acting career, but you play one half-gay guy in a Yale thesis film one time, it's all anybody wants to talk about. I know.
You haven't seen this?
That's him.
I got fired from teaching over being on Uncle Tony a year ago.
So you did a set on Uncle Tony that people saw it, reported you to the school?
Yeah, Amy and Human Resources
How
saw it.
fucking meta.
So what exactly?
I got a hit of acid from a kid in the audience, and I was like, I'm gonna dose Ari. I put into Ari's beer, so I told Shane, I was like, dude, this is hilarious. We're gonna dose Ari. Shane tells Ari, when Jay's not looking, Ari switches beers with Big J.
They go, so what we're laughing at is look at Ari. So I finally look over at Ari, and he is like, like licking the microphone and like doing all that stuff. And then they pull a big reveal.
I was like, I dosed you, Ari, so I don't care if you win. Ari Shaffir was dosed with LSD an hour ago.
He goes, oh, dude, really? Did you dosed me with LSD? That's so not cool. He goes, you did that? Or did I switch my beer with Jay's?
It's just completely...
Wait, do you think I didn't take my beer and give it to Jay?
No, I didn't have that. Then you see me literally on camera go, nah, how did I get involved in this at all? And then they played the replay. You see Shane looks at the camera and says, I'm sorry. Because he feels terrible that he didn't stop him.
He had never taken acid, so Jay stayed up for 72 hours?
26 straight hours.
26 straight hours.
I sat on my couch for 26 hours. I went outside a few times and sat there thinking, why would my friends have done this to me? That was my consuming thought. Why would my friends do this to me? I wouldn't do this.